Now we are starting with the combustion. As you know that combustion is burning of any substance, particularly the fuels, or can be other than fuels also. So burning of any substance is called as combustion. So that means when we are burning anything, that means we are carrying out the combustion. Three conditions are required, like when we carry out combustion, three conditions are mandatory. One is the combustible substance. Second is the ignition temperature. And third is the the supporter of combustion, that is the oxygen gas. So that means whenever you need to carry out combustion, that means whenever you need to burn anything, you need to have three things. One, the substance should be combustible, that it should catch fire easily, because we do come across incombustible substances also. Incombustible substances are those which do not get burnt. So the substance should be combustible, that it should get burned. It should get burnt easily, right? And moreover, it should have proper ignition temperature. Ignition temperature is temperature at which substance catches fire. So that means the proper ignition temperature should be reached, and you know that the substance should neither have too low or too high ignition temperature. Other than that, it should have a moderate ignition temperature, because if the substance will have low ignition temperature, then it will obviously create a problem in catching a fire, because it will catch fire very late. And if it will have have the low ignition temperature, then it will catch fire very easily. But if it has a high ignition temperature, that means it will catch fire very late. So we need a substance which should have moderate, that means neither fast neither slow, it should catch fire at a moderate rate. So that means proper ignition temperature should be reached whenever we are burning anything. Third, we want a supporter of combustion, that is the oxygen gas. We know that a gas that support combustion is an oxygen gas, so there should be a supporter of combustion present. So these three things are required in the combustion. Now we encounter different types of combustions. We have rapid combustion, we have spontaneous combustion, we have slow combustion, we have explosive combustion, just depending upon that at what rate actually the combustion is taking place. First is the rapid. As the name suggests, you know, rapid means very fast. So in which the combustion occurs at very fast rate, such that a large amount of heat and light is produced in a short time. For example, suppose you burn a matchstick and you just bring it near the candle, then it burns rapidly. That means it catches fire very soon, and a lot of heat and light is produced in a short span. Second is spontaneous. Spontaneous is the one in which the first initial initiation is required, but once the you can say that combustion starts, it goes on carrying goes on occurring at itself. No external source is required. Like suppose white phosphorus, you know that white phosphorus ignition temperature is very low. In summer it actually catches fire at room temperature, because in summers at room temperature normally its ignition temperature is reached. So once the initiation is required, and then further initiation is not required, the combustion takes place by itself. So when combustion started doesn't require any further external source, then it is called as spontaneous. For example, I told you burning of white phosphorus, and it easily occurs at room temperature in summers. Next is the slow. As the name suggests, that means combustion is occurring at very slow rate, and that slow is approximately a moderate rate. Neither too fast, neither too slow. It is occurring at moderate rate, and in this slow combustion, you know that some of the fuel remains unburnt. That means fuel doesn't get completely burnt, some of the amount of fuel remains unburnt. Like you are burning coal. For example, you are burning coal, in that the combustion is actually occurring at a moderate rate, and some of the coal is just left behind, left unburnt. Last is the explosive. As the name suggests, that means combustion is taking place at very faster rate, and tremendous heat and light is produced. For example, when you are firing a cracker, so whenever you light a cracker, that leads to an explosion, right? So that is a explosive combustion. So this is all about the combustion, the conditions and the types. Moreover, there are a lot of harmful effects which we encounter during combustion. First, we are going to discuss the smoke. As you all know that whenever we burn something, we get smoke out of it, right? There is a lot of smoke that comes out. And you know that the smoke, what harmful effect that can smoke have? If we inhale smoke, it will cause a respiratory disorder, right? So that means like asthma and all. So that means smoke is you can say the harmful after effect of the combustion. Second is carbon monoxide. Whenever you are burning anything, you get carbon dioxide, right? But whenever you burn anything in insufficient supply of oxygen, then instead of CO2, you get CO. And you know that CO is a poisonous gas, that is carbon monoxide. And if you inhale that carbon monoxide, it can cause respiratory disorders. It actually causes suffocation inside you. And due to that suffocation, it can even cause death also. So CO is a poisonous and a fatal gas. So that is again a harmful effect, after effect of the combustion. Third is carbon dioxide. As I told you that whenever we are burning anything, we are getting carbon dioxide. So when excess combustion is carried out, then excess amount of CO2 is produced, and CO2 is a greenhouse gas. That means it can cause global warming, which can actually lead to an ecological imbalance. So again, it's a harmful gas. We use unleaded petrols and all in the vehicles. So what happens whenever you use an unleaded when you use a leaded petrol or something, so there is a lead which comes out in the air. Again, it leads to a respiratory disorders. Fossil fuels. When you burn fossil fuels, then obviously there are certain oxides which get liberated like NO2, SO2, and you know that these oxides are the major cause of acid rain. This we have already discussed in the pollution chapter also, that they are cause of the acid rain, and you know that acid rain is harmful as it can destroy the crops also, and it can cause a monument cancer also. So that means a lot of things are involved in this case also. Last is smoke. When lot of combustion is carried out, there exists a smoke obviously in the atmosphere which combines with the fog and leads to a smog. And you know that what is smog? Smog is you can say that in metro cities where you see that the clouds, the sky is not clear, the atmosphere is not clear. You always find that something is in the air, and that is a smoke because it reduces the visibility and you have a lot of problems in seeing the objects, and moreover you don't feel like that the environment is clean. Right. So that again after a harmful effect of this is smog also. Now how we can improve the techniques of combustion? First, we can use good quality of fuels which get burned easily, which burn smoothly, which you can say produce lot of heat, which the unburnt, which do not produce any harmful gas, harmful poisonous gas. So this we can do by using a good quality fuel. Second, instead of using a fuel, we can use a renewable source which are eco-friendly, like we can utilize the wind energy, we can utilize the sun energy, because they all do not cause such kind of harmful effects. We can use scrubber, filters, precipitators. They can actually irradiate these harmful gases. They can actually absorb these harmful gases and can make the atmosphere clear. And we can also use chimneys, because by the use of chimneys, what happened, all the harmful gases which are liberated at the low level can be liberated because the chimneys will be tall, so they will be liberating these gases in the upper atmosphere. So we won't get that air we won't inhale that air, and if we will not inhale, obviously we can get rid of the respiratory problems also. So we can do all these, we can actually take into consideration these improved methods of combustion, that is the good quality of fuels. We can stress more on renewable source, we can use scrubber, filters, precipitators, and moreover tall chimneys can be used. So this is all about the combustion. I think you got it, that combustion is a burning of any substance, particularly the fuels, and three conditions which are required: types, depending upon the rate how the substance is catching fire, and harmful effects we have already discussed, and we too have discussed these effects in the air pollution also, and these are the improved methods which you can take into use when you are carrying out the combustion.